Radical Party President Robert Nkosi issued a call to arms at a rally this afternoon. After calling for the reclamation of white-owned farms and widespread strike action,
running to the dogs. Ellie, you seen the chap Ngozi's saying? Absolutely bloody absurd. I think her mother was right 10 years ago. We really ought to make it back to England. Ellie? 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 Ellie, love, Ellie? Ellie?
Ah, Mr. Richardson. Please, have a seat.
You're mistaken. My name's Gabriel Wainwright.
If you say so, Mr. Richardson. Please, sit.
Who are you?
$26,000.
What?
26,000. Did you know the British commanders would sip tea and eat cucumber sandwiches while they looked out over the camps? The concentration camps, Mr. Richardson. They would sip tea whilst they watched 26,000 Afrikaner women and children die. Now, you may not care for history, Mr. Richardson, but I'm sure you care for your daughter. She's been gracious enough to make us a cup of tea. You wouldn't want to forget about her well-being, would you, Mr. Richardson? No. Would you like a cup of tea?
What do you want?
Can you build it?
What is this?
Can you still build it?
Who are you?
Can you?
Listen, you're making a great mistake. I really don't know what it is you want. Oh, God!
You can revive a person up to 12 minutes after their heart has stopped beating. How many times do you want to watch your daughter die, Mr. Richardson? Can you build it?
I've been needing my medication.
We've got an oncologist that'll see you in the morning. Keep working.
I could only lend you my memories. what you would see would make your heart spill over.
What's the thing you miss the most, Grandpa?
Hope. I miss having hope.
What's hope?
It's wishing for something and believing it will happen.
I don't understand.
If you could imagine an ocean full of fish, forest full of trees, acre upon acres, and if you can picture a world where animals are not just photographs, you'd know what hope was. And you'd learn to treasure it, that your children would know what it feels like too.
Why didn't you save it all, Grandpa?
If only.
On the 15th of November, 1539, the Abbot of Glastonbury and 2 of his monks are taken to the top of Glastonbury Tor. Found guilty of high treason, the punishment to be hanged, drawn and quartered. The frail and elderly abbot, Richard Whiting, addresses the crowd.
I pray for God's mercy, and His Majesty the King forgive me for whatever great offence I've committed.
Strangled until barely breathing. Cut down, disemboweled alive. He won't die until his body is cut into quarters.
For 300 years, the West has been gripped by a witch-hunting frenzy. The Puritans take their belief in witchcraft to the New World. Five people in Salem have already been accused. Now it's Martha Corey's word against her teenage accusers.
I have often seen the apparition of Martha Corey, and she had very often afflicted me by her acts of witchcraft.
Martha Corey, tell me why you hurt these persons.
Martha's only hope
So you're in agony.
is that the judge will see through the girl's hysteria.
Just the devil coming to roost. There are 10 people in here who swear to your possession.
Yes!
Moles are a pest, but none of us want to harm the little chaps. Now, they may not see too well, but there's nothing wrong with their sense of smell, and they hate the smell of Jay's fluid. So soak a few wooden sticks like these in Jay's fluid and simply stick them in the lawn around the molehills. A few whiffs, and the moles will soon be packing their bags and looking for a new home. Jay's fluid, the solution's in the can.
Not like it was a year ago, is it, eh? Yeah. All that growth. Rising house prices. Lots of jobs. It's not like that anymore. House prices have dropped. And petrol, gas, food. Food's going up like nobody's business. People, they're uncertain of the future. They don't have confidence no more.
And then the US economy started to slow down, didn't it, eh? And house prices began to fall. And there were lots of people, you know, especially those involved in a subprime market, wasn't able to make their payments anymore. And, yeah, those securities bought by investors, less likely to be repaid. And suddenly, those securities were worth a lot less. Excuse me, I'm so hoping you'll be able to help me. I'm looking for a pair of jeans.
Size
36.
color.
Well, blue, I suppose.
Okay. There you go.
Now, do you think you gave the customer what he wanted?
Yes, a blue pair of jeans.
But did you ask the customer if what he wanted was what he needed?
Yes. Size, color, ta-da!
Ah, but darling, take another look.
What do you want if you don't want money? What do you want if you don't want pearls? Say what you wanna give it your baby. If you don't love my baby. This here's a real fire strawberry. Now I want you to watch good. I'm gonna put it under that can. Now you gotta watch carefully. I gotta move the cans. No one ever spots which can I left it under. Too fast for you? Okay, which one? How the hell you know that? You don't know what you're asking, do you? It's all right for you, bloody lot. You care. It's like the My Lai massacre. You don't know what it's like to be under fire, do you? You don't know what it's like to be put in a position like that. We've got these bastards trying to shoot the arse off you. And you shoot back, and in the heat of the moment these things happen. You know, it's your life or their life.
Brian, let me stop you there for a moment. When you say these things happen, what precisely did happen?
There are these Arabs out there, right? You know what they're up to. You know the trouble they're trying to cause, and you know it's their life or yours, so you take them out. You don't give them a second chance, do you? You give them a second chance, they're going to have your balls in your mouth, aren't they? We've lost a jewel of her, and our esteem is much the poorer for it. But your son, ill in folly, lacked the sense to know her estimation home.
'Tis past, my liege, and I beseech your majesty to make it natural rebellion, done in the blaze of youth, where oil and fire, too strong for nature's course, obears it and burns on.
Honoured lady, all is forgiven and forgotten. But our revenge was high bent upon him, and watch the time to shoot. Well excused, that thou didst love her, strike some scores away. Oft our displeasures, to ourselves unjust, destroy our friends and after eat their dust. Our own love waking cries to see what's done, and shameful hate sleeps away the afternoon. Let this be Helen's now. Now forget it. Thy amorous token send to the fair mortal. The main consents are had, and here we stay to see our widower's second. As you might say, the act of proposing by Gwendolyn's mother, Lady Bracknell, who, sailing unannounced into the drawing room, spies this young man at her daughter's feet and says simply, "Arise from that semi-recumbent posture. It is most indecorous." Just Gwendolyn, in an elaborate, girlish simplicity, which is justly famous and indeed feared by her girlfriends, says, "But I'm engaged to Mr. Worthing, Mamma." Mamma, like Queen Victoria, is not amused. "Pardon me, but you're not engaged to anyone. When the time comes for you to be engaged, either I or your father, his health permitting, will inform you of the fact. Engagement should come to a young girl as a surprise, whether pleasant or unpleasant as the case may be. It cannot be a matter she'd be allowed to arrange for herself. Now, I have some questions to put to you, Mr. Worthing, and while I make my inquiries, you, Gwendolyn, can wait below in the carriage." "In the carriage, Gwendolyn, in the carriage." "Ah, Mr. Worthing,
You may take a seat. No, thank you, Lady Bracknell. I'd prefer standing. I'm bound to tell you that you're not actually on my list of eligible young men. I have the same list as dear Duchess of Bolton. We work on it together. But I am prepared to enter your name if your answers should be those that a really affectionate mother requires. Now, do you smoke? Yes, I admit I do smoke. I'm glad to hear it. A man should always have an occupation of some kind. There are far too many idle men in London as it is. And, how old are you? I'm 29, Lady Bracknell. A very good age to be married at. I've always been of the opinion that when a man desires to be married, he should either know everything or nothing. Which do you know, Mr. Worthing? Nothing, I fear. I'm so glad to hear that. Do you know, I do not approve of anything that tampers with natural ignorance. Ignorance is like a delicate fruit. Touch the bloom and it is gone. The whole theory of modern education in this country is deeply unsound. Fortunately, in England at least, education produces no effect whatever. If it did, it would be a serious danger to the upper classes. It might lead to acts of violence in Grosvenor Square. Now, what is your income? Well, I have 7,000 or 8,000 a year, Lady Bracknell. In land or investment? Well, investments chiefly. That is satisfactory. What with the duties they expect from one during one's lifetime, and those that they exact after one's death, land has ceased to be either a pleasure or a profit. It allows one to have position, but prevents one keeping it up. I mean, that's all that can be said about land. Well, I do have a country house as well, Lady Bracknell, with land, of course, attached to it. Oh, you have a country house. How many bedrooms? Don't worry, that's a detail we can deal with later on, but you have a townhouse as well, I hope. You can't expect a girl with a simple, unspoiled disposition like Gwendolen to actually reside in the country. No, I do have a home in Belgrave Square, Lady Bracknell. Oh. What number, Belgrave Square? It's 149. The unfashionable side. Well, I thought there was something. Still, that can be altered, I suppose. What, the side or the fashion, Lady Bracknell? Both, I presume, if necessary. Now, what are your politics? I'm afraid I have none, Lady Bracknell. I'm a sort of liberal unionist. They count as Tories. They dine with us. Well, at least they come in the evening, at any rate. Now, to more minor matters. Are both your parents living? I'm afraid, Lady Bracknell, I've lost both my parents. To lose one parent, Mr. Worthing, might be regarded as a misfortune. To lose both looks to me like carelessness. Now, who was your father? He seems to be a man of some wealth. Was he born, as the radical papers would have it, in the purple of commerce? Or did he rise from the ranks of the aristocracy? Well, Lady Bracknell, you see, when I said I'd lost both my parents, it would be truer to say my parents lost me. You see, I don't know who I was by birth. I was found. Found? Well, yes. The late Thomas Cardew, a charitable, kindly man, found me. He gave me the name of Worthing because, well, he happened to have a first-class ticket to Worthing in his pocket at the time. Worthing's it's in Sussex. It's a seaside resort. And where did this charitable gentleman who had a first-class ticket to a seaside resort find you? Well, I was in a handbag. A handbag? Yes, I was in a handbag. I was a somewhat large black leather handbag. It was one with handles, well, it was an ordinary handbag. And in what locality did this Mr. James or Mr. Cardew come across this very ordinary handbag? It was in the cloakroom at Victoria Station. It was the Brighton line. The line is immaterial, Mr. Worthing. I confess to being somewhat bewildered by what you've told me. I'm to be born, or at least bred, in a handbag, whether it had handles or not. Seems to me to show a contempt for the ordinary decencies of family life, which reminds one of the worst excesses of the French Revolution. Now, as to the locality in which his handbag was found, well, you can hardly expect either I or Lord Bracknell for a single moment to allow our only daughter, a girl brought up with utmost care, to marry into a cloakroom and form an alliance with a parcel. Good morning, Mr. Wells.